My work has a connection to a narrative or a theatrical space, and so there needs to be some kind of entryway, an access portal, for me anyways, that sort of sets a ground that's familiar, and then that makes a space for things to become unfamiliar. So it's within that kind of recognizability that there's room for something to be kind of turned slightly and become unrecognizable. I became interested in a Victorian era image production sort of through a background route. I was looking at pre-photographic practices of memory, so things like hair jewelry and memorial practices that occurred before photography was invented. And through that, I kind of, as a sideway entry, discovered or rediscovered optical toys and the early machines that were related to the advent of photography. And I was really, really taken with the physicality of these objects, the presence and awareness that was necessary to engage with them to produce these images. What I love about overhead projectors is that whenever you're using them, everything for you as the user or me as the user is upside down and backwards. So it requires a particular kind of awareness in order to be effective for the viewer. And then I was looking at lenticular animations. I'm not sure when they were invented, but they're most often found in like children's books. So a pop-up book where you'd open and it would slide an image across a grid of lines and you could see a simple animation. So I really wanted to make a machine that could project that using the overhead projector. So that one is just a loop of acetate. What I like about lenticular animations is that you can have varying degrees of articulation of motion depending on how many slices of the image you remove. So in essence, that image flies across this linear pattern and it fills in a space, and that's how you read each cell of the animation. The phenakistoscope with the moon was an important subject for me, simply because we talk about the moon as something that changes when in fact it doesn't change. Our perception and our perspective of that object changes, and that creates an illusion of shift. But all of our language around it is as if the moon changes. It's a full moon, it's a new moon, it's a half moon. So those things, those little shifts are important to me. What I like about these machines as well is the way they make very obvious the limits of our perception. So, and by that I mean the way that our eye can be tricked. So the phenakistoscope is just a disc that rotates in one direction with a disc that rotates in the other, and there's this illusion of motion that is created. But as soon as you stop moving it, it becomes a still image again. So you're very aware of the kind of magic that's occurring. And I think for me that's really important, this idea that that a reality that is palpable is also fluid and flexible.